Today we're moving past the AI hype.
Yeah, enough talk.
Exactly. We're looking straight at the Q3 2025 earnings. We're calling this the truth moment, where we find out who's actually making real sustainable money from all these massive AI investments.
Right. The goal here is really to cut through that noise and just follow the money.
Okay. How are we structuring this?
We're using the classic tech stack approach. So first, the foundational hardware,
Okay.
then the cloud platforms, the integrators, and finally the applications where users actually pay up. Let's start at the bottom.
All right, the foundation. And that's got to be NVIDIA, right? The Q3 numbers were just, wow.
Staggering is the word.
$35.1 billion total revenue. That's 94% year-over-year growth.
And almost all of that, the real engine, is the data center revenue. Over $30 billion there.
Wild.
But what really jumps out isn't just the size, it's the margin. 75% gross margin.
75%.
Yeah. You almost have to see that as an AI tax on the industry because they have this, temporary monopoly on the top chips like Hopper and Blackwell.
Hold on, an AI tax? Isn't that a bit strong? I mean, aren't they just getting paid for having the best tech? If it worked way better, why wouldn't people pay?
Well, yes, but that's 75% margin. That's a huge multi-billion-dollar flashing sign for their biggest customers. The hyperscalers, Amazon, Google, Microsoft telling them, find an alternative.
Ah, okay. So the high price itself drives the competition.
Precisely. They're pouring money into their own chips like Trainium, Inferentia, TPUs, specifically to reduce that dependency, to negotiate that tax down.
And that's where someone like AMD comes in.
Exactly. AMD stepping up with their MI350 series. They're expected to see strong double-digit growth. They're offering a cost-effective second source.
So expanding the market, but also giving folks an off-ramp from NVIDIA dependency.
That's the play. Lowering costs, increasing options.
Okay, so NVIDIA's selling the pickaxes, making a mint, who's building the mines, renting out the space. That takes us up the stack to the cloud guys, the integrators.
Right. And here, Microsoft looks like they've built this almost perfect AI flywheel.
How so?
Because they're winning on all three levels. They sell the basic Azure infrastructure, right? Then they have specialized stuff like Azure AI Foundry. And then they monetize directly with M365 Copilot.
They cover the whole stack.
Pretty much. And the proof is in the usage. Azure processed over 100 trillion tokens this quarter.
Whoa, okay, hang on. For listeners, what's a token in this context? Just briefly.
Think of tokens as the basic building blocks for language models, like words or parts of words.
Yeah.
So 100 trillion tokens just means astronomical usage. People are using these AI models on Azure like crazy. It's a 5x jump year over year.
Got it. Massive consumption driving infrastructure demand. But speaking of infrastructure, the CapEx numbers are also huge. AWS guiding for, $118 billion? That sounds terrifyingly expensive.
It is huge, no doubt, but you have to see the business model, the ROI cycle there. For cloud providers, that CapEx buying GPUs, building data centers, it creates rentable inventory.
Okay. Like buying hotel rooms.
Exactly like that. You spend big up front, but those GPU instances immediately become assets you lease out. The path from spending to earning is pretty clear for them, unlike some others.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. So that brings us to the top layer, the application frontline, where companies are actually charging directly for AI features. Who's doing that well?
Adobe is a standout example here. They even created a new metric for it. AI-influenced annual recurring revenue.
Oh, interesting.
And it's already over $5 billion. That's real money tied directly to AI features like Firefly, showing it's driving subscriptions.
Okay, that's quantifiable. And Salesforce, they seem pretty direct about the upsell, too.
Oh, absolutely explicit. Their Agentforce, their Einstein add-ons, they charge a serious premium, like $50 sometimes up to $220 per user per month.
On top of the existing license.
On top, which tells you enterprises see enough value, enough productivity gain, that they're willing to pay that extra cost.
Wow. Okay, so we have the hardware tax collector, the cloud renters, the application upsellers. What about the big outlier? Meta.
Yes. Meta. They're projecting just shocking CapEx, $66 billion to $72 billion for their Prometheus and Hyperion data centers.
That's cloud provider level spending.
It is. But here's the crucial difference connecting back to the ROI point. Meta doesn't have a cloud business to rent that infrastructure out.
Right, they don't have an AWS or Azure.
No. So the NVIDIA, uncontested, king of profit, the great enabler, just phenomenal margins.
And tier 2.
The kings of commercialization at the application layer. That's Microsoft, Adobe, Salesforce. They proved you can make money now if you have platform control and a clear upsell.
Okay, so here's the provocative thought to leave everyone with. that 75% NVIDIA margin, that AI tax, it's maybe the single biggest driver forcing its own competition right
Absolutely.
now.
It's funding the opposition in a way.
So will the hyperscalers succeed? Will their billions spent on their own chips actually cap NVIDIA's growth and erode that tax in the next, say, few years?
That is the multi-billion-dollar question for the long term, isn't it? Where does that margin settle? I'll have to wait and see.